The Trojan War was sparked by Eris's golden apple of discord, the abduction of Helen by Prince Paris, and the cunning use of a wooden horse to conceal Greek warriors.
The origins of Troy's devastation began with a golden apple and a divine quarrel during the wedding of Peleus and Thetis, parents of Achilles. All gods and goddesses were invited except Eris, the goddess of discord. In revenge, Eris threw a golden apple inscribed with the words "to the fairest" into the gathering, crashed the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. The goddesses Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all claimed the title of the fairest, sparking a feud that would change the world forever. To settle the matter, the god Zeus appointed Paris, a prince of Troy, to judge which goddess deserved the apple. Each goddess tempted him with a promise. Hera promised Paris power and kingship. Athena promised wisdom and military success. Aphrodite promised the most beautiful mortal woman Helen as his love. Helen, however, was already married to King Menelaus of Sparta. With Aphrodite's aid, Paris traveled to Sparta, where he seduced Helen. Together, they fled to Troy, an act that would spark a war lasting 10 long years. This act enraged Menelaus, seeking revenge and the return of his wife. Menelaus called upon the Greek kings and heroes to honor their oaths sworn years earlier to protect Helen's marriage. A massive fleet of Greek warships assembling at the shore of Aulis. Greek warriors in armor under the leadership of Agamemnon of Mycenae, Menelaus's brother, and Achilles gathered to lay siege to Troy. The conflict, known as the Trojan War, lasted 10 years. For 10 years, the Greeks and Trojans battled before the mighty walls of Troy. Great heroes rose and fell: Hector, the noble defender of Troy; Achilles, the unmatched warrior of the Greeks. The Iliad narrates key moments during the war, particularly the rage of Achilles, triggered when Agamemnon dishonored him. This rage ultimately led to Achilles' withdrawal from battle and the tragic death of his beloved companion Patroclus, who was killed by Hector. In a fit of rage after the death of his friend Patroclus, Achilles sought vengeance. He returned to the battlefield and killed Hector, Troy's greatest champion. Hector's lifeless body lies beneath Achilles' spear. Achilles dishonored his body by dragging it around the city walls. Paris and his father Priam both were worried about the death news of Hector. Priam bravely entered Achilles' camp to plead for his son's body, an iconic scene of grief and compassion. Despite their strength, the Greeks were unable to breach Troy's formidable walls. Nighttime at the gates of Troy, the tide turned when Odysseus devised a cunning plan: the construction of the Trojan horse. The Greeks built a massive wooden horse and left it outside the Troy as a supposed offering to the gods. The Greek army pretended to retreat, sailing their ships out of view. Torches flicker as curious Trojans crowd around it. The Trojans, believing the horse to be a symbol of victory, brought it into the city. Unbeknownst to the Trojans, Greek soldiers were hiding inside the horse. That night, as Trojans celebrated and thereafter slept, the hidden Greeks emerged from the horse. Greek soldiers pour out of the wooden horse, opening the city gates to the returning Greek army. The Greek army stormed in, setting Troy ablaze and engulfed in flames. Trojans flee in terror as buildings collapse, and fire consumes the city. The once great city fell in ruin, its people slain or enslaved. The destruction of Troy led to immense suffering, a somber dawn over the ruins of Troy. Its people were scattered, its heroes slain. King Priam was killed. Survivors and the women of Troy, including Queen Hecuba and Andromache, Hector's wife, are seen weeping, and they were enslaved. Helen was taken back to Sparta by Menelaus. Helen stands with Menelaus, looking sorrowful as Greek ships prepare to depart. But the devastation of war left wounds that would never heal. The fall of Troy became a tale for the ages of love, pride, and the terrible cost of war. For centuries, the crumbled walls and smoldering rubble stood as a reminder of humanity's greatest triumphs and deepest tragedies. An inscription reads, "The price of pride and war." While the story of Troy is mythological, it is believed to be based on real events. Archaeologists, led by Heinrich Schliemann in the 19th century, discovered the ruins of what is thought to be ancient Troy in modern-day Turkey. Layers of ruins show that Troy was a significant city that suffered destruction multiple times.